Well, they say all good things must come to an end, although presumably they're not talking about this save when they say that, but it's time for the final season of Norwich City bouncing back. Hello everyone and welcome back to more Norwich City bouncing back, and yes, it's one last ride, one final attempt to see if we can win the Premier League with Norwich City when we only sign British and Irish players. Even if we don't, which I think is probably the most likely outcome, it will still have been a very successful attempt. We have won multiple trophies, we've played some nice football, and if nothing else, we've shown pretty much the limit of what you can do with a sort of club that aren't super rich, signing very generally expensive players. So it's our final season, and what do the board want? Well, they want pretty much what we have done for the last few years. They want us to qualify for the Europa League, they want us to get to the quarter-final of the Europa League and get to the quarter-final of the FA Cup, which is sort of, that's what we are. We are decidedly the 6th best team in the league. Sometimes we're the 5th best. I know in season 8 we managed to be the 2nd best and really arguably should have won that league title. That's the high point really, but ultimately we've been able to turn Norwich into a consistent top 6 side, which when you look at the only real example of a team that does this in reality, Athletic Bilbao, with a even more restricted player pool than we have got by only signing Basque players. They have maintained themselves as a generally top half Spanish team, have done okay. It's not a policy for long-term success, so the fact that we've done this well has been pretty good. And we've still got one more year, so who knows how things can go. And we've made some moves that maybe, just maybe, might be able to get us that title win. So who's gone first of all? Well, Jack Butland has retired. He's been a sort of reliable backup goalkeeper for a while. He's had enough. He's hung up his boots. Patrick Lack, who was one of the sort of original regens that I signed, and I thought he could be, and maybe would have been if we'd played him, quite good. He just never really developed, either for us or when he was out on loan. His best season was 11 goals for Oxford. But permanent departures, well, Dele Alli has gone for good. He has joined Lorient. He was there on loan last season, and obviously they wanted to have him back. I mean, did okay actually, did pretty well really, so they've paid 8 million for him. Aaron Hickey has also departed. He's gone to Napoli. They've been trying to sign him for ages. He's very popular in Italy, of course, starts the game nowadays at Bologna. We actually may have made a profit on him, which is not too bad at all. Being sort of reliable bench option, we don't really need him anymore though. And then the big departure, the nightmare, is finally over for everyone. Dean Henderson has gone, and he's gone to Aston Villa. And again, we've made a profit, much like when we sold Nick Pope, £27 million. Not that it really matters. We're not going to. The finances are not really a concern for me. This is it. This is the last season we're going to be doing. But yeah, obviously in our near title winning season, he was absolutely fantastic. Last season, considerably less so, only 13 clean sheets, which is still okay, but the amount of, towards the end of the season especially, he just sort of collapsed completely, and basically every game we lost was at least partially his fault. Pretty much the entire time he's been here, there's always been that sort of aspect of his game that you just are concerned for what he's about to do. So yeah, we've got someone else in. And as they're all regens, we can just go straight to this screen because you have not heard of any of them. And given this is the final season, we've spent a lot of money because, well, we only had 60 million to spend. We've spent 190 million, although most of that is in installments stretched over 3 years that we will never actually need to pay. We've still got 50 million to spend, but I'm going to keep that for January in case we need a sort of boost to the side like we have done over the last couple of seasons. But these are the 3 men who I'm hoping are going to boost our team up. So firstly, we have Hervé Diarra here, who we've signed from Everton for £51 million. He is a right back. He is looking really quite good. Max Aarons last season just kind of became quite bad, but he's still good, right? He's still a good player, but having another player in who is a real quality right back, kind of really on a par with Aarons, I think will provide him with the competition, hopefully, to motivate him, and also, someone else that can play there if he's not playing particularly well. And then our new goalkeeper coming straight in to replace Dean Henderson is Jamie Hurd. We've signed him from Aston Villa for £71 million. So they've just signed Dean Henderson. So actually it's only about 50 million. They've given us a partial refund. I think he's 23, already got 26 caps for Wales, which is pretty impressive. He looks quite special. The key point to really sort of stress compared to Dean Henderson is the eccentricity of one and flair of one. He's not here to muck around. He's here to stand in the goal and stop the ball from going in the goal, which fundamentally is what you want from a goalkeeper. If we just compare him to Dean in particularly those attributes, 1 versus 15 for eccentricity, 1 versus 13 for flair, I think we've got an upgrade here from a goalkeeping perspective. And actually, he's a little bit more agile. He's got a lot more better balance, better jumping reach as well. His handling is better. Dean Henderson's handling is not particularly impressive. His one-on-ones are not as good, but again, his reflexes are really good too. So I'm not too concerned by any sort of drop-off on that. I think he is a better goalkeeper. And then also, crucially, that is not at the expense of his distribution. His kicking of 16 is excellent and passing of 11 are perfectly good. We're not hopefully going to have a situation like we had with Nick Pope. So we've strengthened in front of our goal, and hopefully we've strengthened in front of the opposition goal as well. I wanted a new striker because really that's been the weakest position in the entire squad for a while. Apart from the near title winning season where Murray McCartney, much like Dean Henderson, had a brilliant year, we've not had a consistent striker since Adam Eder decided to stop scoring goals. Hopefully that changes now. Simon Henning joins us from Fulham for, I also believe, £71 million. £71 million. He has had an excellent season last year in the Championship, 16 goals and a very good average rating. Still young, he's only 20. He's quite similar to McCartney in a lot of ways. Slightly better finishing, much better acceleration though. His physicals are overall better than Murray McCartney, and just generally speaking, more well-rounded. I think he hopefully will do quite well. So that is that. In terms of the signings, I would have liked to have strengthened some other positions. Left back, potentially get someone in instead of Josh Tymon, because Jamal Lewis, again, like Aaron's, kind of dropped off a little bit. There's not really anyone particularly worth getting in. The big one though is midfield, because I really would like to get another midfielder in, sort of really for the base midfield, but someone that can sort of play in both the more defensive roles. There are no midfielders, absolutely no midfielders. Outside, there are absolutely no midfielders with any sort of defensive skill who are not over the age of 30 who are actually interested in joining us. So we haven't got anyone else in there. But you never know what January might bring. There might be someone that sort of emerges that we can potentially sign then. And so, to the first game of our final season, it is going to be against Wolverhampton Wanderers at home, which is good. Obviously, our away form last season was really bad, and at the end of the season didn't go very well. I do think that was just a coincidence that it timed itself with a new patch. I'm hoping that anyway, fingers crossed, because if not, we could be in some trouble. But I do actually think that's what happened. I think it was just kind of a fluke, because we've had runs like that before. We've had, certainly at least one patch of really poor form earlier on in the save that was exactly like that. I think it's just unfortunate it timed itself when we were looking like we were going to put together a strong run and potentially get in the Champions League and even potentially challenge for the title, but we shall see today. Now, this is the team we're going to be going with. Well, first of all, some slight tweaks to the tactical instructions. We are back to a standard line rather than a higher line. I think that's probably sensible, at least to start with. I've also got rid of work ball into the box because it wasn't really helping us out particularly, I don't think. And as to the lineup, well, quite a few changes and quite a few regens now making up the bulk of our team. So Jamie Hurd, of course, comes straight into goal. The centre-back partnership is, of course, going to be the same, Tomori and Mepham. Lewis keeps his place at left-back for now. Diarra comes in at right-back, though. I'm giving him the nod from the beginning. Max Aarons is on the bench. Now, midfield, I'm going to go with Calvin Phillips in the deep line playmaker role because he did quite well against Sheffield United. So I'm going to put him in there. Bit more sort of defensive than Lewis Cook, so hopefully that helps. Not particularly compromising the creativity either. George Wilson, of course, is going to be ahead of him, and then the biggest call is that Ryan Davis is going to start for us ahead of James Maddison. I think we're going to give him the go. I think he's a bit more sort of he's got better physicals than Maddison has at this stage. Obviously, James Maddison is on the bench and he will still start and probably come off the bench in pretty much every game. But I think we want to rest him a little bit more, not overplay him. I mean, him and the two centre backs were our most consistent performers last year and really the last couple of years. So we want to protect him as much as possible. But I'm going to give Davies the go from the start for today. The wingers, Colin Dunn has been injured for most of pre-season, but he's back and he's going to start on the right-hand side for us. Of course, the hero of the final day last time out, Aaron Hitchman, is going to come straight into the starting lineup. Of course, spent last season on loan at Sevilla and did very well for himself indeed. 14 goals and 4 assists in La Liga. Obviously, if he's going to be doing that, he can play for us in the Premier League. And then the new man, Simon Henning, goes straight up top. We do love a debut goal in this save. There's a lot of players that have got a debut goal. Can we see a debut goal from him today? Certainly the most regens we've ever fielded in one single lineup, that is for sure. And well, I'm expecting big things. I'm hoping for big things. Wolves have got a bit of an ageing midfield there with Neves and Tielemans. Obviously still a lot of creativity. But let's see if we can get 3 points on the board once again. Well, 20 minutes in, we've not had a shot yet. So that's really encouraging. Really pleased to see that one. 40 minutes in, finally a highlight. We have actually done a little bit in the meantime. Dunn pulls the ball across to Diarra. Gets it back from Dunn again. And, well, we're working it quite nicely. Henning holds up play well. Wilson plays it forward. Aaron Hitchman is there. And it's a good save from Maximiano in the Wolves goal. Calvin Phillips on corner duty in the absence of Madison. And, well, Mepham finds the target, but it's another save, which takes us to half time. We have certainly improved as the half has gone on, but still nothing to show for it. I'm not happy with the performance. I wouldn't actually be, devastated by a draw with Wolves at the end of the game. They are a side we often have issues against, but at home we should be trying to win this one. Jamal Lewis, left hand side, can he put a good cross in? You've seen improved season from him. Davis gets it from the bounce, pulls it across. Henning's there, multiple goes at it, but he can't even work the goalkeeper. Right, we'll go positive. I'm thinking about putting work ball into the box back on because we don't seem to be doing too much, but I don't know. I think maybe we stand a better chance of doing something from wide areas. So we'll keep this for now. Tamori with a header, but it's not particularly great, and Wolves are looking to come forward to Vieira, to Garcia, to Almeida, cross in. Leao is there, and it's a great save from Hurd. Hurd with a clearance, and it's a pretty poor clearance, but Diarra is able to intercept the ball, and we can now hopefully work our way forwards up the pitch. Wilson racing through. Of course, he's left-footed, which is maybe a bit of a hindrance for him sometimes on the right-hand side of midfield. Diarra, good pass into Colin Dunn. Beats a man, goes for the shot. Colin Dunn scores, and Colin Dunn continues the form. Love the cartwheel. Continues the form that he showed at the end of last season. It's an excellent finish. Finally, we're able to work a move. Good work from Diarra, and Dunn controls it well, turns, beats a man. It's a very powerful strike from the man on the right-hand side, and it's an excellent goal. Coming up to 70 minutes, I'm going to probably have to take Dunn off. I mean, he's just been fouled there. It's potentially going to be a red card for Anning, and I think it is. It's a red card. We have gotten a man advantage. Dunn's going to come off because he, of course, as said, was a bit injured in pre-season, so don't want any more injuries for him. Calvin Phillips with the corner plays it in, looking for Mepham, and he's not far away. Did that hit the bar again? I think it hit the bar again, our favourite thing to do. Another attempt though from Phillips. Mepham again, this time doesn't really get there. Hitchman intercepts well. Need to see a little bit more from him. I mean, it's his first game back in England since his loan spell. First time really starting for us for, as a preferred choice for a while. But Diarra got a lot of space. Can he find a good cross in? Yes, he can. Henning is blocked and it's cleared. I didn't really mention the main advantage of Diarra over Aarons is massively superior crossing. Max Aarons cannot cross the ball very well. Hurd plays a goal kick out to Hitchman, controls it well, and Jamal Lewis has got a lot of space to run into. We've got at least 4 players forward. If Lewis can find one of them, he finds Wilson. It's bounced down to Mashala. He's a little bit far away. Phillips with the strike, and he's not far wide. Right, time for another change. Hitchman's going to come off. We'll bring on James Madison for a customary appearance, and I think actually, looking at the clock, we need to shut this down. We've gone defensive. No more stupidity, please. There's another highlight. I mean, if this is a Wolves goal, I'm not going to be happy at all. Mepham to Wilson. Please can we just not do anything stupid? Davis finds Madison, who controls it well. Don't be an idiot, James. Jamal Lewis in. Mashala's there. It's tipped over. I think he's probably offside. Who knows? It doesn't matter. We've won 1-0. Not massively convincing, but Wolves are a very decent side, and actually the stats look quite good in the end. Wolves only had 1 effort on target all game. We took the best chance we had, and we have got 3 points to start the season. So not a bad start at all, but we do often start the season really well with a win, and then things go downhill. So hopefully not this year. My plan really for the season is basically the League Cup, Europa League, probably even the FA Cup as well. I'm not really too bothered about any of them. Of course, if we can win them, great, but not my major concern. We've won them all before. The Premier League is what we really want to target. Therefore, I'm going to rotate the squad as much as possible for those cup games, just to keep everyone nice and fresh for the league action. And you never know how it's going to go. You never know. And that is going to be that for today. We will be back next time for, well, probably some kind of game around October kind of period. West Ham, Southampton. I mean, these games will probably get moved around with the Europa League. It will most likely be a league game and Europa League game. We shall see, but that is going to be that for today. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you leave a like. Make sure you subscribe as well if you haven't done so already. I mean, this is the final season. You don't want to miss out on what is going to happen, as well, of course, as what we've got on the channel going forwards. And yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.